Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today's topic is going to be the New York Jets making a stupid decision. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the main story, shall we? Mike Maccagnan has been fired. Now, if you watch my channel in the past, followed me on social media, you would know that I am not a Mike Maccagnan guy. That being said, it makes no sense to fire him right now. This is dumpster fire, disaster-like situation. Let's break this down. So, at the end of the season, the New York Jets decided to part ways with Todd Bowles. Completely fine. Todd Bowles was a very bad head coach, but they also currently were employing a very bad general manager. The Jets have been the worst team in football over the last 3 years. They went 5-11, 5-11, 4-12. That should not justify being brought back. But the Jets decided to stick with Mike Maccagnan. Then they included him in the hiring process of Adam Gase. A very questionable decision when you had Mike McCarthy, again, someone who I wasn't really particularly a big fan of, but you had Mike McCarthy on the table, Matt Rule on the table, Cliff Kingsbury, Todd Monken, other choices that might have made a little bit more sense. So they bring in Adam Gase, who is under 500, 2 games under 500 in his career as a head football coach, and has not won a playoff game. Anyway, I digress. They bring in Adam Gase. Okay? They go through the draft process. They go through free agency. And now in the middle of May, when everything is supposed to be quiet and you're supposed to be looking forward to minicamp and training camp, the Jets drop an absolute bomb out of nowhere and say that they have fired Mike Maccagnan. Why now? That is my question. Why do you let Mike Maccagnan, who is historically not a good drafter, go out there and get one more draft? Now, I like some of the picks he made. You can debate the Quinnen Williams one all day long, whatever. I'm not going to get on him for that one. Polite in the 3rd round, I liked. Offensive lineman in the 3rd round, I also like. But 4th, 5th, and 6th round, those picks were questionable. You guys seem to love the Cashman pick for some reason. I don't. The Wesco pick for the tight end, not so sure how I like that one either. He seems more of a blocking tight end. I think it's an okay pick, a better one, but the Blesson Austin one in the 6th round is absolutely trash. That screams Mike Maccagnan, and I hated that pick. I really do. But so anyway, you let him have one more draft. You let him spend money in free agency, and then you say, okay, that's it? You're gone? And then you're going to give power to Adam Gase, who was terrible in Miami in personnel decisions? This just makes zero sense. Why do this now? That is a question. If you're the New York Jets, and blame has to 100% go on the owners here. Yes, Adam Gase probably pushed out Mike Maccagnan, who hired him, which is as crazy as that sounds. But this all stems back to the same issue: ownership. They created this odd structure, Woody Johnson did. So when it was Todd Bowles and Mike Maccagnan, both of those individuals, the head coach and the general manager, reported to the owners. They did not report head coach, general manager, then owners. It was both general manager, head coach, owner up here, like a triangle. Made no sense. Absolutely stupid. Now, the same thing happened with Adam Gase and Mike Maccagnan. And potentially Adam Gase did something to get Maccagnan fired or convinced the Jets to go this way. I just don't understand how you're putting all of your eggs in the Adam Gase basket. Why? And is this really, are we supposed to believe that this is all really over Le'Veon Bell? Because there's reports out there that supposedly Mike Maccagnan obviously really loved Le'Veon Bell. He gave him a big contract, but Adam Gase wasn't so sure of that, giving him a bunch of money to a running back. And while you can debate that all day long, and in most cases I'd probably agree with Adam Gase, this was a rare one because the Jets, who had more cap space than they know what to do with, had and landed the best player overall in free agency. How many All-Pros were available in free agency? Not a lot, but they landed one in Le'Veon Bell. And they have been terrible on offense for so long that they go out there and land a phenomenal player, probably the best skill position player they've had since Curtis Martin. I'm not going to be upset over that. But what I am upset over is that they waited this long to do it. You should have made the decision after the season. Todd Bowles and Mike Maccagnan should have been gone right after the season ended, and you start fresh. You're bringing a new general manager and a new head coach. Now, instead, what they did is they kept Mike Maccagnan, who helped in the hiring process of Adam Gase. Now, Adam Gase stays, Mike Maccagnan goes, so the next general manager that you get is going to be stuck with Adam Gase, who isn't their guy. They didn't hire him. Maybe they don't want to work with him. So do you really think that the Jets are going to be able to get their top choice here? The guy that they want the most? And supposedly, Chris Johnson said that he made the decision now because he couldn't do a full evaluation at the time after the season of Mike Maccagnan. That's ridiculous. That is insane. How could you let this man, how could you decide to fire him 3 weeks after the NFL draft? This is the decision we're making here, and we wonder why the Jets are such a laughingstock and why they are so bad. So when you all get on me for being Mr. Negative and bad and negative against the team all the time, I really wonder why. It's because stuff like this happens. They haven't made the playoffs in damn near a decade. And then they do stuff like this. This franchise is a joke. I hate to say it because I love this team with all my heart, but they are a laughing stock. They are an embarrassment. They are the new Cleveland Browns of the NFL, just like the New York Giants. Both football teams in New York are fighting each other for who could be more embarrassing. And while the Giants taking Daniel Jones at 6 was terrible, and they made a ton of dumb decisions this offseason, the Jets are right there with them. The Jets are right there with them. They fired their general manager on May 15th. None of this makes sense. Doing this now makes zero sense. You do that in January because how could you give him another opportunity at a draft and spending $100 million in cap space and then kick him out the door before the season starts? I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about this team anymore. They do it to themselves. You wonder why this team's so bad. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 50 freaking years. This is why. Bad teams making bad decisions. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not defending Mike Maccagnan. He should have lost his job. It's just the timing of it now. Makes zero sense to do it now. Should have been done in January. That's the point. Jets fans, I know you probably got a lot to say, so get at me in the comments below or follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. I don't know what to say anymore. This team is unbelievable. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next time.